All right. Can you still hear me? All right.
I
What's
don't
up?
think I can hear you.
Oh, that's weird. But we.
Definitely can't. What is going on with my audio? Ah, stupid computers. I hate this crap. Rick and Morty. Unprofessional. Give me like 2 seconds. I am like the most unprofessional dude in the history of everything right now. Where is voice and video output?
Make sure.
Wow, I have no audio. What is going
on? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Paintball Lounge. Right now, we have Nightmare.pb, who is the biggest YouTuber of Woodsball. We're having some problems, so give us patient time. Yeah, now we can't hear you. I wonder if I can pause this.
on? All right, give me a second. I'm going to try something. I will be right back.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So yeah, if you're just joining in, we're having some technical problems, and it's gonna be fine. We're gonna fix it and everything. But in the time being, let's go ahead and talk about a little bit. I want to thank everybody who watches the Paintball Lounge on y'all's, any time of the day. We're trying to keep on growing this podcast. A few announcements as well. I have actually played the Long Night, which is the Game of Thrones at Paintball Republic. It was very fun. I had a great time, even though we lost. But that was my first time doing it. That was my first time being a general. So it was fun. I had loads of fun time doing it. I'll do it again. Probably so, but not as a general, because I still need a little bit of practice, a little bit more help. Another thing is that if y'all have noticed, the belt is now part of this. The belt is now part of this. Alright. Can you... Problem. There's one problem. We can't hear you. You can probably hear me, but we can't hear you. This is definitely going in the bloopers. So while we're trying to get his mic to work and everything, the Paintball Lounge's belt has finally came on here. So now y'all can see it and I can be part of the show. Oh, good thing we didn't hear that part. So we're still trying, but yeah, we're gonna give y'all a show. We're just having technical problems, but before that.
Yes, I have audio.
Yes.
Yeah, I did things.
Oh yeah.
The joys of a 2 PC stream setup, man. My audio's on one and I'm on the other, and I don't know what's going on. It's just not working the way I want it to, my friend.
It's all good. So welcome Nightmare Paintball onto the show. The guy who makes Woodsball footage so much fun and entertaining. What's up? So what's your real name, by the way? So everybody knows you as Nightmare, but what's your real name?
It is Brian. It's one of those names that not a lot of people know it, but if you watch enough of my videos, I definitely get called more by my first name than my field name, so it's kind of funny that way.
So your real name is Brian. Every time now here's the thing, I watch your streams all the time. I watch your gaming stream and your stream. I always see the word Brian, and I thought it was somebody else. I didn't think it was you.
No, that's me, man. Those who are in my inner circle know me a little bit better than most.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's kind of one of those like close kept secrets that I have. You know, it's like I can't let everyone know I can't let them too far be behind the curtains, but I mean, we're all humans in the long run. It's not like I'm a gamer where you're only going to know me by my stream name or my user handle. So
But I love the hoodie, man. That's sick. I like
isn't
that.
that awesome?
Yeah.
There's a fun story behind this one. I got
Ooh.
told by my manufacturer of this shirt to stop selling them because they received messages from a certain company that has hub in the name.
Oh, you mean
And
XX?
yeah, a certain one. Yeah, they're like, FYI, yeah, we're not selling your shirt anymore. And I was like, oh, you serious? Like, yeah. So I had like hoodies, t-shirts. So I've got one of the very last ones that well, I'll probably do it again, but I just won't include the word hub in it because it was like Paint Hub. Come get your Paint Hub shirts. And I got one that says MagFed as well. And unfortunately, I ordered the wrong size, so I can't even wear that one because it looks like I'm about to Hulk out of it. Every time I go to wear it.
And where you're from, like you're from like what, Florida or around that area? Because I know we did Eastern Standard Time for this. So, like, where are you from?
I'm actually in Ontario.
Canada?
Yeah, man, I'm Canadian, eh? Yeah.
You don't sound like it. You don't sound like it.
It comes through every so often, not too frequently though.
Oh man, yes. I got a non-Canadian guy. Yes.
Well, I don't know what it is about the Canadian water, man, but it just seems to breed paintball YouTubers. You know what I mean? Like Alabaster Slim, Wolf, myself. It's rare that someone gets to the level that we have outside of Canada. I think Hedgehog and Barker were probably the only two paintball-related guys that outside of Canada that really like made it that far. So it's kind of humbling actually. So I don't know what they put in our water, but it's good, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy, like because we just had not too long ago, the owner of No Snowflake Paintball, Drew, who was also part of the Extreme Bucks. He's from Canada, and so that's just awesome. Like now I got another Canadian guy on here. Yes.
I try my best, man. I would have been here on time if I would have known it. It was 6, not 7, but it's all good, man. I just happened to come down and I'm like, I see a message like I'm live now. I'm like, does this guy do like a 2-hour show? I'm like, what's going on here?
Oh no!
I was there was a mistake somewhere. I was like, all right, let me just throw on a shirt and a hat real quick.
Oh, that's what I did. So it's the paintball lounge. Like we don't wear suits or anything like that. We just wear wherever you want, drink wherever you want, eat wherever you want.
Hell yeah! That's the right attitude, man. That's the right attitude. I'm just busy sharing the crap out of your paint YouTube link across all my socials. So hopefully see some names. I'm seeing Anthony show up. I haven't seen him in a while. I got Twig in the chat. They're probably mad at me because yeah, I do a lot of paintball stuff. It tapered off towards the end of last year, but usually when I'm not doing paintball stuff, I do a lot of live streaming, a lot of just hanging out, doing whatever. And these guys have been hounding me, straight up hounding me for like the last, oh God, it must be 6 months. Like, hey man, we're gonna get some live content. So I'm pretty sure they're mad that I'm live on your channel and not on mine. So Twig, you are fired. And Anthony, how you doing, buddy?
I mean, so let's get started. What, like, you've been playing paintball for how many years?
Oh God, man. The first time I ever picked up a marker was 2009. So I went out for a rental day with my buddy Brad from the Maritime Paintball podcast. Took me out, you know, back when being a paintball sniper meant putting an 18-inch barrel on your Tippmann 98 custom. So that was my first time ever playing it. I took about a 3-4 year hiatus. I came back around 2012. I gained a lot of weight. I was a big time gamer. So I ended up, Call of Duty was my bane. So I ended up playing a lot of Call of Duty, gained a lot of weight, and I was like, you know what, I'm done playing COD. So I started playing paintball to try to lose weight in 2012. Yeah, 2012. But from 2012 till now, it's just been nonstop. So going on 13 years of playing.
Dang.
That's wild. Holy crap, 13 years. That's kind of mind-blowing to think that I've been playing that long. But yeah, it's been 13 years of P-ball.
That's how long I've been playing.
Damn, time flies by, man.
Oh yeah, it flies so fast. but but we all love the sport. We love the sport, even though
Oh,
we.
there's something about it, man. It's just so stress relieving to just go shoot people in the face and not go to jail for it.
Oh, without a doubt. Oh,
There's just
without a
something
doubt.
about it. I'm not sure what it is, but it just tickles me in the right spot to be able to go hunt other human beings without the risk of prison time.
It's
It just
like
de-stresses me.
it's like Well, it is kind of like Call of Duty, except for they're getting splattered in the face with paint and not bullets. So.
You're not wrong, man. You are not wrong. I'll tell you there. It's that's kind of what got me into paintball because I loved Call of Duty so much that I was like, well, what else can I do that would be as exciting as Call of Duty but better? So when I remembered how awesome paintball was for the very first time in 2009, I was like, why don't I go do that again? So without even hesitating, I just bought my very first A5, and the rest was history, man. And then actually, it was Call of Duty that gave me an action camera one year. It was with Call of Duty Ghosts. And I was like, I'm going to put this on my paintball mask. And next thing I know, I'm posting videos on YouTube because Facebook didn't like me sharing the same video over and over again. So long story.
No, that's all good. And then you morph it from where you started now to one of the major contents. I'd say one of the majors because there's so many content of YouTubers who makes paintball. But you are actually Pacific, the ones that actually make funny videos for one. And
Thanks.
Which I'm going to ask you this: what provoked you to make the paintball kind of like American Funny videos or ridiculousness, like how they just take these videos and you just like make it like that style? What provoked you to become like that?
It was a combination of things. So after my very first season of being a paintballer or paintball YouTuber, and I use that term loosely, I only had like not even 500 subs at the time. At the end of the year, I went through all my footage and I was like, these are the funny moments that I had. Like, this is what was... These are all the fails that I had. So I ended up putting out a video. It was called Top Paintball Fails 2014. And I was like, it took off. Like, for a small ass channel, it took off. I was like, whoa, that's kind of cool. So the following year, I did the same thing. December rolled around, Top Paintball Fails 2015. And then around that time, Tosh.0 was a huge thing. And I was like,
oh God,
I want to do what this guy's doing, but with paintball clips. So what I ended up doing was I went out and I got 4 pieces of construction paper. I taped them together, stuck them to a wall, grabbed a GoPro, and just filmed myself in front of it. And that's where Bonus Ball came from. So Bonus Ball originated in my my kitchen. I moved all my tables out of the way. It was the only place I had good lighting in my apartment. And then it just kind of spiraled. I did a top 5 paintball fails that I reacted to, and then consistently trying to get people to submit their clips wasn't always working out for me. So I was kind of getting people to, then I had to go scour the internet to find clips, and it just became such a hassle that I went from like 5 videos that I would tear apart in a video down to 1, and people were hating that. So then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do the best paintball fails and funny moments. So then I kept that going as well. So it kind of brings in the people that are looking to laugh, but then they're like, oh, this guy actually has some serious content as well. So it was a nice balance to what I was doing. I feel like my channel has always been fluid and always growing. You know what I mean? So it's never been just like, this is the only thing I'm doing. And that kind of helped me grow a lot because I got a lot of my views from that. But as with anything, if you don't evolve what you're doing, eventually you just become stale, and you end up in a position I'm in now where I'm trying to kind of reinvent my brand because MagFed Paintball isn't as searchable as it once was. Way less people looking for it. So that's kind of like my future plans for this year coming up. Some super exciting stuff. But the paintball fails just started. Honestly, it was Tosh.0, man. It was just watching what he did. He was tearing videos apart, and I'm like, I want to do the exact same thing, but with paintball.
And you did. I mean, you actually took that video and you became the Tosh.0 version of paintball. And now, like, a a lot of people, we just watch it. We were like, yeah, we see the fail. I'm like, yeah, this is just funny. This is just plain old funny.
Oh
And
yeah, it's one thing to go out and like capture your own blunders, but when you start watching other people doing it, it just brings it to a whole other level. It's like, oh my god, I might have failed, but this guy failed.
yeah, and there's some videos I saw, and I was just dying laughing. And it's not because he failed. It's just like the time that some of these videos are like, at this moment, he fucked up. Like
Yes.
that is one of those moments, and you're just like, you're just smiling and you're laughing.
Oh man, editing those videos is so much fun. I scour the internet looking for reaction clips, little snippets from The Simpsons, Family Guy, whatever I could find that would just sum up what was in my mind while watching somebody else fail. I was like, oh my god, like this works out so well. So I was like, here we go. I just realized my volume was up really loud. So if my audio was shit, I'm so sorry. And also I apologize for swearing on your show. But I just realized my speakers were up super loud and my mic was definitely picking it up.
No, you're all good.
All right, sweet.
We can curse and everything because this is not.
Don't.
I set the settings to where it's not for kids.
Yeah.
So if
just got to be careful. Sometimes YouTube. I've been around the algorithm once or twice, and when I start live streaming and I start dropping F-bombs, I literally watch the YouTube growth. It's like, oh yeah, we're getting viewers, and we're done. I'm like, oh, that's where I started swearing. Oops. Let's not do that. We used to take bets on all my live streams, like how long before I got demonetized or just removed from recommended. Usually not long.
And honestly for me, it's I don't get paid for YouTube because I was actually taking I got copyrighted and YouTube saw that and they're like, oh, guess what? You're not gonna get paid. I'm like, fuck you. That's fine with me because I'm like this. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna get paid. Guess what? I can say fuck all I want.
Yeah, exactly, and it's what it comes down to. And it's extremely hard to get paid on YouTube. It really is. I'm one of the fortunate guys that got into the YouTube monetization program well before they had a threshold. It was basically, hey, fill out this form and you can have ads on your videos. So I feel like I'm truly honored and blessed that I was able to get into the program so early because I feel. Actually, I've done it. My second channel, my streaming channel, I had to go from 0 watch time to the 4,000 hours of watch time that they wanted to be monetized. And I remember like streaming and trying to get it up there, and we used to have a countdown. Oh, I'm only 100 hours of watch time away. Oh, I'm 90 hours of watch time away. So it was quite the adventure. So I feel bad for anyone trying to get into the space to make money. I'm like, as of right now, there's not a lot of money to be made in YouTube with paintball. It's very hard. You got to come up with something that someone else isn't already doing, that isn't already filling that gap, right?
It's very hard. It's very hard.
It's difficult, man. Like there's times where I make more on my YouTube ad revenue my Facebook ad revenue than I do on YouTube, and Facebook pays peanuts. So it's ebbs and flows, right? It's ebbs and flows. Helps pay for the season.
Yeah, it does have it is very, very hard because the fact that especially when you live in like Louisiana, where not a lot of content is out there to put out for paintball and everything, because Louisiana is very, very closed, very repetitive kind of place, and so yeah, it's very hard. It's even harder on me because I make videos of me playing woods ball and everything, and it's hard for me to get the content out there because I get only maybe, I don't know, like 57 views, maybe 25, lower than that. It's just really hard trying to be bigger and try to do something different. But you guys do what you love to do, then try to be somebody else. And
oh yeah,
but
yeah, it's not easy these days, and I mean, there are so many aspects nowadays to being a content creator, but there's definitely ways to kind of try to get into paintball content and having it viewed. I mean, even if you make the best possible video, kids, or I don't want to say kids, people these days don't have a large attention span, so they're not looking for a long-term story. Which is kind of what drove Hidden Hedgehog off of YouTube, was that people didn't want those videos where you would sit and indulge in this nice long storytelling adventure. Now it's got to be like hit after hit after hit after hit. It's got to be funny moment after, action. You've got to learn how to retention edit, which is a very hard skill to learn. Barker's very good at it. It's just
Oh
funny
God.
moment, boom, funny moment, boom, funny moment. So
Smart
it's constantly giving you those dopamine hits. Where the guys like myself, Slim, Wolf, we were telling stories. It's like, okay, I'm at this field. We're going to go for this flank. We're coming around. We're going to do this. So now, if you're trying to get into the YouTube scene, you have to have that retention editing where it's quick edits, fast, into the action, not a whole lot of downtime. You can't build suspense much anymore. Like you need to have that, grab people's attention and run with it. You have 10 seconds to grab someone's attention on a video before they click off and say the same for me. And if you don't grab someone's attention in the first 10 seconds, you're lost. So you got to be able to grab them for 10, and if you can hold them for 30, you're on the money. If you can hold them for a minute, you've got them for the whole video 9 times out of 10. But really, what we do, it's really hard to consistently make content and tell those stories, because it really is the same thing every time. Okay, guys, we started here. This is the objective. We went through the woods. We did this. I got these cool kills. I had this moment with a cheater, maybe, or something along those lines, something with drama. And then you kind of taper off to like, okay, we either captured the flag, we didn't capture. So to take what seems mundane and turn it into something is very, very difficult to do these days. But you almost have to make up your own stories, I find. And that's that to me, that's the key to making a good YouTube video, is making up your own story. Even though the event might have had its own storyline, I can take the content that I gathered at an event and go, here's my story. It might not be what actually happened, but here's my story. All right, guys, I could have just been team deathmatch, but I make up this thing. Oh, they've got this guy over here. Now we got to go rescue him or whatever. Or maybe there was an elaborate scenario, but it was too elaborate to explain in a video. So I'm like, all right, I'm in the woods. I'm just here to shoot guys. What's up? And that kind of works as well.
Yes, I agree 100%, because when I actually did the Game of Thrones event at Mississippi. I don't know if you've seen it through all the whole social media on Facebook, because me, Brock, the owner, shout out to you, Brock, we were trying to get a lot of people there. I think there was like 70 people there, maybe more than that, and it was a scenario. And it was my first time doing a head cam. I never, if you look back at all my videos, I always do barrel cam. And the reason why I always do barrel, because I like to show people like where am I shooting and who's the target. But this was my first time shooting using just a head cam. And I was using the Amazon version, cheap version. I got.
Oh yeah, 50. We all start somewhere.
Well, it's just that I didn't like this already came with like the covering and everything. I mean, quality was good and everything, but when I was looking back, man, I was like, this is not good. This is literally not good. And then you see me going back to the base, and I believe it was my guy, like my best friend Jeremiah, and my friend. Well, he was actually, I call him my MVP because he helped me, because it was my first time being in general. Never been in general, and he told me, "Hey man, we have half our guys are here." And I say these words, and I wish I had deleted the video. I should have never deleted it, but I said this: "Are you fucking kidding me? We have no. Where the fuck are these guys?" And I was and you can hear me say that screaming out loud, and I was like, "Oh shit! Oh my fucking god!"
But those make up the best moments, man. Those really do. Like you gotta appreciate that kind of stuff, because it's what makes people laugh and makes you keep coming back, right?
Oh, trust me, there's videos of me actually losing my temper. There is from cheating.
I've been there, man.
But no, it was just it's hard to make content videos. Like you said, like we have to have. It's always like kills, and you gotta do these special effects with the X and all that. It takes so long, and that's why I don't do that. Like I honestly, I don't do that because I don't have the time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the barrel cam that I use, I don't think I can get it. I think it's somewhere. It's the DJI Action 2 camera. I
Oh,
like,
nice.
yeah, I like using it. I used to have a GoPro, but I decided to do a DJI because the fact that it's lighter and
Oh yeah.
is I can get great footage. I can get like 1080p at 120 frames per second and post it on here at 4K
Mm-hmm.
with 30 frames, and then I'm like, okay, this is clear enough. But it's like I had to literally, I don't feel like doing all that, put the marks and like zoom in on where I'm shooting at. And I just want to give credit to you, Wolf, and everybody who does that, who has the time. Like, I don't.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. It's so nice when I hear something like that because sometimes some of these videos that we put out there, they take easily 40 hours of editing, 20 to 40, depending on how intricate we really want to get with it. And unfortunately, paintball on YouTube isn't as big as it once was. So there's not a lot of people posting content. So there's not a lot of content to recommend your content anymore. So when it was myself, Wolf, Hedgehog, PB Panda, Dreadcam, so on and so forth, there were so many of us that if one of us posted a video, we all benefit because after their video was done, you're like, oh, you like paintball content? Well, let's go on to the next one. So there's not much of that left. It's a very niche product. What we do is so incredibly attractive to just a handful of people in the world, where if you can find a way to take what we do and make it interesting to the general public, it's an absolute win for our sport, which is great because like that's why I like making the funny videos and the fails, because people who are, just hanging out on a Saturday night, want to have a couple of drinks, just want a couple of laughs, they go, oh, well, I just watched Fail Army and I'm getting recommended this paintball fail video. So they're like, oh, that's people still play paintball. Everywhere I go, I kind of get asked all the time, like, paintball's still around? Like, I remember doing that when I was a kid. I'm like, yeah, check out my cool videos, man. Like, I love doing this stuff. So yeah, sometimes I ask myself a lot. I'm like, I've almost quit like 100 times. No doubt. Like, ask any of my mods. Twig's down in the chat right now. He's one of my main mods. Actually, he probably is the main mod. You're not fired right now. I'm gonna officially rehire you right now. I fire him on a weekly basis. If you're in my Discord server, he makes a typo and I fire him, but then I love him so much that I bring him right back, and he's an absolute gem. He's pretty much a cornerstone of what I do. But yeah, I've quit almost 100 times just because it's frustrating when you can put so much time and effort into something that used to get like 50 to 100,000 views, when now it's getting closer to 2 to 5,000 views. I'm like, I don't know what's changed, but something. So there's definitely been times where I'm like, I want to stop doing this and just go get a part-time job. I would make more money on the side. But I love what I do. I truly do, especially when I get opportunities to come on a show like this. I don't care if your channel has 500 subscribers or 10,000. I love talking about the sport because it amps me up, especially during these darker months where none of us are playing. And you know how hard it is to create content? Like, I'm sitting on terabytes of footage, but it's so hard to create anything when you don't have the passion flowing through you, right? Like, you haven't talked about paintball with anyone in a while. Also, nice belt. Mine's better, but nice belt. World Championship. What is that? New Orleans.
Yeah,
the champion. I like that.
It's the
That's dope.
paintball champion.
All right. Oh, it's a paintball championship. Yo, let's go, baby. I love that. I love seeing paintball championship belt.
I was making sure this is secure because of the fact that I just got this not too long ago to help it to secure. So I'm like, hopefully it doesn't fall down.
Chat, he's just flexing. That's all that is. I'm telling you right now. He was fixing it to make sure it doesn't fall. I'm telling you right now, he's flexing. Give me a Y in the chat if he's flexing there, Twig.
If y'all do that,
Hondo P.
If y'all do that, I would be like, what the fuck? But no, I agree with you 100%, my friend. Like, it is darker. I'm not gonna lie, it is very dark because now, like, when you hear about paintball, the first thing comes into mind is the NXL. That's literally all it
100%.
is.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's so hard because of the fact, yes, the NXL and the Speedball like gets the publicity of, hey, let's go play paintball. But what it doesn't do, it doesn't give people the start of it, where to start at. Because you're basically telling people, hey, let's throw these kids at the ring of fire of Speedball when they have no idea how to start with it. And that's why in my book, I don't like making Speedball content videos as much. I like to make Woodsball videos because I can go to these different fields and show people all what they do, like what we do, like which game we play, or how many rentals they are, or the just hearing other people like shooting and all that stuff. And because that is where you're gonna grow the sport. That is how you're gonna
100%.
grow the sports, by showing them the Woodsball, the scenario, because that's where they make money. That's where all these field owners make money. It's not from Speedball. It's actually from Woodsball.
Yeah, we definitely it's a symbiosis relationship. I remember when I first got into Woodsball, I hated Speedball. I hated every aspect of it because I got so tired of going onto the Woodsball field and having the local team who was practicing for their big games take it out on, you know, the younger kids or even us rec ball players. But as I've matured and grown as not only a content creator but an ambassador in the sport, I've learned to love all aspects. There was a point where I got hardcore into MagFed, and I was like, you know, F everything else. I hate stock. I hate anything with a hopper. You know, I got really indoctrinated into what I was doing to the point where I had to take a step back and go, whoa, what am I doing here? Like, I'm ostracizing a large potential audience by just saying I don't like hoppers. But like now I definitely have a nice collection of what you can consider two hopper fed markers, like traditional and box feed. And so much so that I think this season I'm going to be pulling out my hopper fed a little bit more. I have been working on a new barrel cam system, which I don't know if you've ever watched any Dread Cam's videos.
Yes,
but he used to have this honking zoom cam that would rotate on his barrel. It was the most obnoxious thing I've ever seen Dread pull out. So I've kind of, I'm going to turn a little bit here because I know YouTube does not like it when you handle any sort of firearm live on stream. I had my stream shut down in the middle of a maintenance marker, but I'm just going to turn and I'm going to grab it here. All right. Hopefully YouTube didn't see me do that. All right. So this is kind of what I've been working on this season. So this is my everyday, no matter what marker you're using, barrel cam system. So imagine you're snapping and you're in line and you lean left. Oh, it's still down. You lean right. It's still down. So like no matter what, even though there's a little bit of a lag, I mean, I can always edit that out in post. But no matter how, once I oil it up, it'll be totally fine. I haven't oiled this thing up in a while. Let me get the oil spinning here as it flies off. But no matter how you spin the barrel, the zoom cam is always going to stay downwards. So on a Woodsball marker, traditional hopper fed Woodsball marker, I can still create the Paintball Wars series and kind of step away from MagFed a little bit. Like MagFed's always been my thing. I've loved MagFed. But for me, it's become a time and a place kind of thing. And now that he's not here, if you go to all my sponsors, whether it be Tactical Innovations, HR Tactical Innovations, save 10%, use code Nightmare. Oh, he's back. So with the barrel cam here. So as you start playing, so yeah, this allows me to kind of snap left and right. Doesn't matter what I'm using, but it's even got a nice angle on it. So that way, hopefully it catches the trajectory properly. I got a lot of testing to do with this, but this is going to make it a little more fun to get a hopper fed gun out, because I think that will relate to a larger audience with a barrel cam like this opposed to MagFed. So a lot of paintballers, when they see a MagFed marker, they're immediately turned off. They're like, this guy's an elitist. He doesn't believe in Woodsball anymore. He is straight up MagFed. But to me, I've learned that there's a time and a place for MagFed. I love it. I love MagFed, but to me, I'd rather play MagFed if I'm going to take a sniper role in a big scenario game. I want to be that guy that someone's like, yo, man, can you hit this guy from all the way over here? I'm like, ha, girl, please, let's go. And then next thing I know, he's got a first strike on his face. Or you scare them with the whistle. I was at Super Game 52 in Oregon, and guys were coming like, yo, you shooting first strikes? I'm like, yeah, what's up? And they're like, we got guys over there, whole team, like ready to, like, you could see them staging for a push against us. I'm like, this is about to suck. I laid an entire mag of first strikes, a straight line, didn't even take a single aimed shot. The whistle sent the whole team running. My whole team rushed right behind us, just straight went right through. So it's an intimidation factor. But to go to like a walk-on game where everyone is playing with hopper-fed markers or whatever, but most fields aren't laid out mag-fed friendly. So having a system where I can have, you know, cameras on almost any gun that I use is going to be a game-changing experience, I think, for me this year. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Especially like this thing. I got it. It was on my dresser. That's that DJI camera I was telling you about.
Oh, yeah, those are sick.
I got the power bank one, and this is the magnetic. And it comes with the little thing for the barrel. And when I got this, I was scared because of how tiny it is and how lightweight. But when but when the magnetic, holy shit. If you look all of my videos, and there's one where there's a car, and I'm literally on the car, like leaning back like this, just like this, and I'm shooting. So understand this, I am literally bent over backwards, my gun's angled like this way, and the camera is still straight. Like, it's still straight. It's not that rocky moving around so people are like, what the fuck is this, like, giving them cracks on the necks. It's like so straight, and I love cameras like that. I love it because it's like, it gives you that stability. It gives you that stability to where that you're still seeing what people are shooting at or they're trying to shoot at without having going on the editing and you had to delete that whole video file because it was off balance. And you're like,
I think last season I spent more time getting my camera set up for the event afterwards. So like Wasaga big game, almost all of my footage got ruined because my zoom cam wasn't aligned properly. We had some MagFed games the very next day. Yeah, the second day of Wasaga. We had MagFed only games. All my footage, none of the barrel, the zoom cam didn't line up with the barrel. I'm still trying to figure out how to edit it to make it look good. But I think that's the hardest part about being a paintball YouTuber is spending so much time trying to figure out exactly how to make it look good, how to get the camera just right. Like, it took me so long to get my head cam set up properly. It took me years before I realized, oh, this is how you set up your head cam with these mounts and these arms and these settings. You know, I'll edit a setting, go to a big game, like, oh yeah, my settings are fine, I'm going to do this. I went to a D-Day. All my footage is whitewashed. The exposure was way too high. So unless I'm in the forest, everything looks white. The sky and the ground blend together. It's the most disgusting footage I've ever seen. So that really discouraged me this last season. But now that I've got my settings dialed in, I'm not touching any cameras. I'm not taking them off the markers. They're staying where they are, and they're going to operate the way they should, hopefully. And it's discouraging, especially when you get home and you're like, oh, it didn't line up. I got some cool kills. Maybe the zoom cam was behind a bush or behind a leaf, or I was at Super Game 52, and I was shooting through C-cans. There was two C-cans off center. Oh, my camera's over here. Off center like this. There we go. So I'm shooting through two windows on my C-can, through two windows on another C-can, and one ball in dudes in the face of first strikes. My zoom camera was below the window frame, so it didn't capture any of them. So I was smoking dudes in the face, and it was the funniest thing because I was giggling like a schoolgirl because I'd smoke a dude in the face, he'd go away, the next guy would be like, where did he get shot from? Whap! Oh, he'd walk off, and then a third guy would be like, well, it can't happen to me. Whap! Right in the face. So it's just like, and I was giggling. Just these other MagFed guys beside me are like, are you seriously shooting through two C-cans? I'm like, yeah, man, this is great. And hopefully I'll do it again this year because I just got the invite to go to Super Game 56. I don't know what the actual one is, but Super Game Oregon again this year. So I'm super stoked to go do it again.
I would love to play Super Game. I've heard so much of it. And
Oh,
like I've actually got the chance to play at some Wizzball big events. I got to play long time ago, and that was the Battle of Normandy. That was
oh yeah.
that got me loving about scenario, like because even though I did not like the boats, like
Mm.
we cramped up in the metal boats, and I'm like this. I'm like, here I am holding an E-Tech 4, and I'm like, I'm worried about my gun going off, but then again, I'm like this. This guy's barrel is right next to my foot. And I'm like,
Oh man.
please, for the love of God, don't shoot my foot. Please, for the love of God, don't shoot my foot. But it was so much fun. Like I would love to do super games, and
Oh, they're worth it, man. It's like I've only been to Super Game Oregon. I know I got Twig down in the chat being like, you got to get to Super Game Florida. I'm going to talk to Brian Barno. If I can make Super Game Oregon work, I think he wants to get me down to Super Game MD. I think there's one of the Living Legends games down there he wants me to go to as well. And I mean, it's all driving distance now.
I think it's the one in Michigan that's gonna come.
Yeah.
Lone Wolf. I think Lone Wolf is being part of it since that's their home.
Oh yeah. That's really cool. So I love coming down to the States because I get to meet all of these. I get to meet all these companies that you see online all the time, and you don't really get the opportunity being up here. But yeah, super games are awesome, man. It's more like a paintball festival. That's the best way I look at super game. Is it's not just a giant scenario. You don't just go just to play paintball. It's the swap meets, the vendors. It is like Woods Balls NXL. To me, super game is Woods Balls NXL. It is. You go there for everything. The vendors, the people, the memories. They have 1v1s. They have MagFed night games. They have pump games. There's literally something for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're 60 years old with a cane walking up and down the field, or you're 13 years old getting your first gun. And I've never seen a field organizer or an event organizer give out that many prizes in my life. Like, it is insane the amount of gear they just give away. I'm like, that's nuts. Like, that is a lot of money. They're just, raffle ticket. Okay, we're giving away a Planet Eclipse EMAC. Or boom, gone. I'm like, oh, holy crap. $200-$300 tanks, hoppers, masks. I'm just like, it's a festival, man. If anybody has the opportunity to go to a super game, you got to go. You got to. It's expensive, but it is fun. Like, as a guy who has been across Canada, down to the States a few times for games, I will always go down for a super game because they're so well organized. Probably one of my favorite games it's hands down one of my favorite international games. So, like Twig saying here at Super Game a month ago, he won 3 shirts in a row. See, now he's decked out for the summer. His mom doesn't have to go buy him school clothes. He got clothes from Super Game.
There you go. I mean, I like stuff like that. It's because also not because I've seen. I think I was watching somebody's video, and they were shooting Super Game, and I can't remember. I don't know if it was you or somebody, but when I was watching how many vendors and everything going on, I'm like, wow, this sounds so much fun.
It was eye opening. It really was. Like, I did definitely film a little bit of the vendors area in my This Is Super Game video.
That was you. I remember that.
Yeah,
it was you.
It was super cool because if I could go back and re-edit that video, I'd add more in-game footage. And I think that's a format that I want to try to bring into light this year is mixing like vlog footage with first-person footage with the vendors area stuff. For the final battle, I didn't play because I was shooting first strikes, and I'm like, I'm not gonna just shoot first strikes blindly into smoke. It was nuts. But I got my drone up in the air, and I met another drone operator standing beside me. I was like, all right, we had to coordinate. Like, all right, man, where's your drone? Where's my drone? I don't want to get in the way of your shot and my shot. Also, I don't want a drone collision on top of these players. So,
all straight.
It was great, man. Like even for a game where absolutely soaked us to the bone, and it was muddier than heck. We had a hard time traversing Super Game. Like you're walking and your feet are just sloshing left and right.
Mm-hmm.
It was so much fun, and I cannot recommend it enough for people to go to Super Game. Hashtag not sponsored yet.
Not yet.
Hopefully.
And
Brian Barnow's an awesome guy, and I keep trying to poke him like, hey man, I want to put your logo on my jersey. Let's talk.
yeah, and I mean, we were just got. Well, I was at the event last weekend, last past Saturday. Brock and a couple other guys, they're saying, "Hey, we're gonna have a triple threat, and it's supposed to be aliens, predators versus aliens, and I think it's also with Marines." And I'm like, "Huh." I mean, the fact that they're trying to make like a super game in a way, but it's gonna be three different fields. Like I love stuff like that. I'm starting to really love stuff like that.
It's
Now,
a lot of fun.
and then back to what you were saying about like you want to like incorporate like vlogs into like videos and everything. That's also what I would like to do as well. Not just for events, just in general to see how it is, because like I want to start incorporating, both of my cameras, this for the barrel camera, the head mask for head cam, but also like during breaks, like lunch breaks, or when I'm not on the field, I can use my phone and shoot like vlogs in a way to balance it out and to where to keep people like, okay, so this is how he looks like. He's over here and he's shooting this guy. I can see it from here. And when he's off the field, he's showing like different things, like different people with guns or how long they've been playing and stuff like that. I want to try to do that to where it's like my videos are not going to be like 15 minutes. It could be like maybe 30 minutes, but it will keep people up their toes.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where learning how to be a YouTuber really comes into play. Like I've spent a good portion of the first 3/4 of my paintball career learning how to edit videos or learning how to keep people's attention. So one of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given as far as video editing goes is murder your darlings. And what that means is you might have the best piece of footage in the world, but if it doesn't add to the story that you're trying to tell, get rid of it. Yes. So unless you're putting out a high quality documentary, no one's going to watch a 30-minute video. Your audience retention on YouTube is going to be terrible. Oh, yeah. But if you can take 5 minutes out of 2 or 3 hours of footage and tell a story, beginning, middle, and end, you can come up with some amazing footage. Like I look back at some of my older videos and I'm like, there's no storytelling here. Game started. This is what I did. This is what I was thinking. And then this is how it ended. So there was no storytelling. And even going back to my Super Game vlog, I was like, wow, I really didn't tell a story here. Whereas the very first time I went to the Sniper's Den, I told a story. It was all right, I'm leaving the house. Oh, I got on the ferry. I was crossing the border. I had my GoPro on and almost got arrested by border security. And then I got to the field. I met Greg. And, there was a bit of a story to it, and it's really hard. Oh, yeah. It's a hard thing to get into. But that's what being a YouTuber is. It's just storytelling. It's learning how to take the adventures that we're having and tell a story that people are going to want to watch. Unfortunately, a lot of people just take their gameplay footage like I did when I first started. You take raw gameplay and just stick it on YouTube and you're like, hey, this is my video titled Walk On Day at Sniper's Paintball #1. It's you really have to learn YouTube marketing, SEO, search engine optimization. You have to learn there's so many aspects to it, right? And it's a lot of fun. Like adding vlog footage to gameplay footage is a way of making it interesting. But at the end of the day, you still got to be able to tell that story.
I agree 100%. Especially the fact that, when you're just doing a podcast and you're adding all this to it, I just do it for like to keep the people, hey, stay on subscribing. Which, by the way, subscribe to the channel. By the way, guys, I really appreciate it. But I keep it so people can stay on my channel and be entertained in a little bit, not just from the talk shows like behind the
Mhm.
marker and everything, but they will actually have some gameplay footage to watch, some tournaments that I might use my phone to like live stream and stuff like that. And because I can't, like I said, I cannot zoom in with this camera or anything like that. So I gotta do
Mhm.
what I got to do. And I'm not trying to make money. I'm not trying to make money whatsoever. I got a full-time job. So,
100%.
but I just do it for the love of the sport and to create and get people to play more Louisiana paintball and get people from, Texas to come down here, people from Virginia to come down here.
Absolutely.
And that's what I try to do every
And
single time.
honestly, it's the best part of what I've done. I think I get asked, what is my favorite accomplishment that I've done in paintball. I've played in MagFed tournaments. I've won. I've lost. I've made friends. I've lost friends. But I think my greatest accomplishment as far as paintball goes is I took a small field that nobody knew about and turned them into what would have actually at the time it was the largest paintball field on the East Coast of Canada. Maybe not profit wise, but they were the field that people were coming from like out of province to go play at. So Seabreeze started off as this tiny little field.
Mm-hmm.
I got invited to a little Cowboys versus Banditos game is what they called it. And I was like, oh, wow, this is my first time playing here. Cool field. I went in and I was like, oh my God, I love this. And then shortly thereafter, that became my new home field, even though there was one that was closer to me. I went to their field. I was like, I like your layout, your vibe. It's just a good place to be. And I think that to me is my favorite accomplishment of bringing them from like this tiny little field that nobody knew about to one of the best paintball fields to exist on the East Coast. And when I would start a video and be like, what's up guys, it's Nightmare and welcome back to my home field, Seabreeze Paintball. Like I get goosebumps just thinking about it because I took such pride in trying to make them grow. And that kind of leads into the biggest piece of advice I have for anybody who wants to pick up a camera or just be anything in the paintball industry. And that's to become, I just had the word on the top of my head, valuable. That's the word I'm looking for. My advice is be valuable. Not even original, just be valuable. There are plenty of ways to be valuable and be original, but there's a lot of ways to be original and not valuable. Mm-hmm. So like if I go to a company and say, hey, I would like to represent you, here's what I can do to be valuable to you. A lot of people who slap a GoPro on their head or put a barrel cam on, immediately they go, it's the me show. It's all about me now. It's my videos are me. But there comes a point when you kind of realize that it's no longer about you because what you can do can only get you so far. And you're going to want to get people onto your ship. And to get them onto your ship, you have to be valuable to them. And I've been in contact with a few companies this season already. I'm like, this is how I can be valuable to you. And they're like, oh, you can be valuable to us. I'm like, yes, because I've been doing this for so long that I'm not going to come in and promise you the world, take your goods and bounce. We've seen it in the paintball industry. And that's why a lot of companies are afraid to reach out to smaller creators and be like, hey, we want you on team X, Y, or Z, because they've done that. They're like, okay, we're going to kick you out. We're going to give you a $2,000 gun, a $400 tank, a $200 hop. Like they give them thousands of dollars a year. They play one season. They make 4 posts in that entire year on Instagram or Facebook, and then they bounce. And the next thing you know, that gear's on Marketplace. Mm-hmm. And the company's like, well, we're not doing this again. That was a terrible return on investment. So my goal this year is to kind of reverse that psychology and bring more companies back into looking at content creators. I almost want to create a coaching program where like, hey, if you're a content creator in the paintball industry, let me show you how to be valuable to these companies. Let's show them that we're not just leeches on the industry. Mm-hmm. Like I look at what we do as far as being a content creator. I don't care if you're a photographer, a videographer, a first-person shooter, YouTube paintball creator. I look at our industry just like I would. I gotta stop hitting the stupid microphone. I look at our industry the same way I do the gaming industry. Right? Look at Call of Duty.
Oh God!
It is a AAA game. It is massive. It's huge. And as soon as you have all these streamers, these YouTubers, these creators, they're all making content for Call of Duty. But as soon as Call of Duty starts getting stale and the creators stop making videos consistently, what happens to the product? Nobody plays the goddamn game anymore. The same goes for paintball. If nobody is watching, nobody is going, you know what? You know, it'd be a good thing to try out this weekend. Let's go play paintball. You know, I can't tell you how many times in the last 11 years I've had people tell me they started playing paintball because they watched one of my videos that got recommended to them on YouTube. They're like, oh, wow, I remember playing paintball when I was a kid. It was fun. And people are still playing it, and it looks like this now. And that mentality has stuck with me for so long. So if you're not trying to grow what we do, and I'm not saying grow the sport. That's not my mantra. That is that is the most cop-out mantra. As soon as anybody says grow the sport, I'm like, you lost me, dog. Because it's
only way you can grow the sport if you grow the community. That's the only way.
And it's true, but or just get eyes on the product. You know what I mean? And that's what we do. We have to show these large corporations, these sponsors, these companies that, you know, we're not leeches on the industry, but we're a tool to be utilized. Not every person that you hitch your wagon to is going to be a winner. But I think it's up to those companies to realize what they did wrong and what the member didn't bring to the table and how they can improve that relationship. You know what I mean? Like, instead of just being like, oh, we hitched our wagon to one guy, he fell off, he was nothing, we're done, we're never doing this again. Go find the next guy.
Right.
Maybe don't put all your eggs in one basket. Maybe don't give him, you know, a $2,000 gun. Be like, hey man, what can you do for us?
Right.
You know, this season I've created a media kit and I've handed out to so many companies. I'm like, hey, let's work together. Here's what I can do. Here's what I've done. You know, like one of my favorite stats I love showing companies is, hey, when I was working with Rap4 and MCS, I made them over $700,000 in sales over the course of 9 years. What company is going to go, nah, $700K, that's nothing, man. Like we're not interested. It's like, oh, well, how did you do that? I got my tactics, man. I make videos. I push product. I do reviews. I talk about it. I say, here's a promo code. People like saving money. Paintball's expensive. So, you know, like there's a lot of things. So I feel like anybody who wants to get into the space, they have to become valuable, and not to themselves, but to the people that they want to have support them. Traveling is expensive. Getting a hotel is expensive.
Without a doubt.
Like, I'm super blessed that I have field owners that reach out to me on a yearly basis and say, hey, we want you at our field. And I'm like, oh man, you know, funds are tight. Like, don't worry about it. We got you a rental car. We got you a hotel and your paint's covered. Just show up. Just have fun. And at that point, I'm now working for that field, right? I'm now a promoter. When I get to the field, I'm now shaking babies and kissing hands. You know, you gotta gotcha. You gotta kind of do that, because when you are an entertainer and a field comes to you and says, hey, we want you at our field, we're going to get you here, we're going to cover you. It's not a free ride. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong as well. I feel like I'm on a bit of a tangent right now, and I freaking love it. And I apologize for that.
No, you're good. I love the energy. I love your energy. That's why I got you on this show. That's why
it fires me up, because I've seen so many people drop the ball when they've been given the world, you know? And it truly drives me nuts. So when a field's like, we're going to pay for you to be here, we're going to cover your food, your hotel, your gas, whatever. I don't even care if they offer you a bag of paint. If a field owner looks at any creator and goes, we want you here, we're giving you this, you better be working. You better not be drunk off your ass in the staging area, making an arse out of yourself. You better be walking around in the staging area before the game starts. Hey man, how's it going? Long time no see. Oh, what? First time here? And you better be talking up the game. You better be talking up the field, taking pictures. You can't just exist because you're no longer a player. The second a field gives you something, you have to give something back. And I always try to, you know, give as much as I can. You know, I've got fields that I've paid hundreds of dollars to get me to their field, and I feel bad. So I'm like, what am I constantly doing? It's like, hey, I get to the field, cameras are out, my cell phone's out, I'm recording everything. I'm catching B-roll of players. I'm in the vendors area, you know, chatting with vendors. I will go out, have my gameplay. As I'm walking out to the field, if I hear someone go, Nightmare, I'm like, oh, goddamn. Helmet comes off. I go over. I'm like, hey, what's going on? You know, I've had a mom run up to me with her two kids, like, oh, my God, we love you. We didn't know you were going to be here. And, you know, we take a bunch of selfies together. It's just like the way I look at what we do is like being a jester in medieval times. I'm there to entertain you. Mm-hmm. I am a sideshow attraction. You know what I mean? Like, so,
Joker.
And I don't think a lot of people have that mentality when they get into this space and they get an invitation to go do something cool. They have no idea how to become valuable to the sponsors, the field, or even like the event organizers, right? So to anybody who wants to get into this industry, you have to be valuable in some way, whether it be sharing a post once a week, shouting out your sponsor, being like, hey man, I know this is a sponsored post, but I truly believe in this product, X, Y, or Z. Like, and you cannot ever talk shit about them, even when the deal's done. I've worked with the worst companies that you can ever imagine, and I will never put them on blast on public. You get me drunk at a bar after the game, we're going to have a conversation, because that's a whole different thing. That's when Nightmare stops and Brian comes out. I'm like, let's talk about what pisses me off. I got companies that owe me hundreds of dollars, and I've sent them messages every week saying, you still owe me money for plugging your products and plugging your codes. And they're like, they completely ghost me. And so like, I'm owed almost $1,000, but I've never gone public about it, because by going public about it, it hurts my image. Yeah. And who's going to want to work with me if things go sideways? Right? But people don't understand that. Everyone has egos. When you're in a position like that, you got to check your ego, right? You got to become a completely different person. It's a hard thing to do, right?
Oh,
like, check the ego at the door. There's nothing to gain from having an ego and a YouTube channel. There's nothing.
No, I agree 100%, and that's why I, you know, when I started with this, you know, being YouTube and these gameplays. By the way, hi, Charm City Paintball, Mr. Mike, really great guy.
Shout out to Maritime Paintball Podcast as well, my other homies that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah,
sorry, Brad, I kind of ghosted you.
It's all good,
no.
But no, like I said, like once I started doing like, you know, hey, I'm gonna do this like footage, show you off the field and everything. I was getting free paint. And everything because I was going to go out there and film. Hey, Guerrilla Paintball here in Baton Rouge, or Paintball Command in Mandeville, Louisiana. Even a really close buddy of mine, Ryan from NOLA Paintball, he was just getting started, like getting everything together. What I do, I've live record the tournament of Speedball, as well as record some videos from his rec ball field. And it's because, and I don't expect like free stuff. I don't want I don't expect any free stuff. I just want free paint, because I'm gonna give y'all. What I'm gonna give y'all is like footage, like exposure, like to show everybody. And not a lot of people know about the Paintball Lounge. Like, they're looking at me, they're like, oh, you're just an average guy. I'm like, until they see the camera, like, oh, you're going to be on YouTube? I'm like, yeah, you're going to be on YouTube, all right. You're going to get into YouTube, me showing you all right in the face.
I love that feeling, man. When someone's like, oh, you have a YouTube channel? Like, yeah, man, like totally. They're like, oh, man, what's it called? It's like, oh, it's Nightmare.pb. Like, you're Nightmare.pb? I watched you when I was a kid. I'm like, oh, God damn it, I've gotten old. I'm now hitting that point in my career.
I have not hit that yet. It's the
funniest thing, man. It's a feeling that never gets old. I truly love it. When I see a kid's face, I don't care how old they are. They could be 40 years old, 50. I'll still call them a kid, because I don't know, it's what I do. But I see a kid come up to me, especially younger kids, and then they're like, "Oh my God, you're Nightmare!" I'm like, "Yes, I am." Like, thank you for making my day, because you made the stress of what I do fun. Like, you're showing me that there's appreciation to it, because if you're looking to do it for the money, and I'll tell you right now, I've chased the dollar. I've chased it. I've grabbed it. You know, I've made good money on my channel, and it helped me get to where I am in life today. Like, I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination.
No one is.
but when you lose the passion and you start just looking at the dollar, you're like, what can I do to make my next dollar? You feel like a crack addict, right? You're just like, you're chasing the dragon. I was just gonna say it. You're just chasing the dragon, right? Randy, you're never gonna catch the dragon. Yeah, you know, I had months on YouTube where I made $6,000 a month for like a couple months straight. It's possible. But then you have the opposite where, you go from making $6,000 a month to the next month it's famine. Now here's your $100 paycheck from YouTube. Boop. So it's a lot of budgeting and organization, because sure, you made a lot of money here, but now you got to pay off the debt that you put yourself in to get that cool gear, to get that cool equipment, to get that cool streaming setup. So a lot of people who might get monetized on YouTube, they chase it. You know what I mean? I've talked to so many guys that have chased that monetization dream. They're like, I want to go, and they get there. They get the 1,000 subscriber minimum. They get the 4,000 hours of watch time. And the next thing you know, they've hit their goal. And then they get their first YouTube month of monetization. And it's like, oh, here's your 30 cents. It's like, yeah, you just started. You literally made it to the start line. Yeah. Now you have to keep going. And it's so goddamn hard to keep going. When you're like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. Oh my God, I'm almost monetized. I'm monetized. Yeah. And then you get your first YouTube paycheck. And also YouTube doesn't pay out unless you make $100, by the way. So it could take a few months, but you suddenly 1 month of monetization goes by and you're not making anything. You're like, oh, and you see the drive.
Yeah. Without doubt. It's like,
they're like,
you made it.
The dopamine hit. There's no dopamine hit. You're like, oh, this is what it is. Like, you made it to the start line. And that's the way I look at it. It's like, if you want to do it for the money, you got to hit that start line, right? It's a lot of work. Ooh, thank you so much. I love you. My wife is awesome. She brings me tea. She loves me.
So if you got any questions about the podcast, we'll go later on to talk about it, because there's a story about it. Since you brought your wife, there's a story about that. But yeah, I agree 100% that is so unbelievably hard. And
it is.
And what sucks, making paintball content on YouTube it sucks so bad, because it's only on YouTube that you can make it. You can make it on Twitch, but the problem is that Twitch has that, expiration. If you don't save your videos, they have that expiration date. So you're like you say you did post your video on Twitch or stuff like that, you post that video on Twitch, you got 30 days, and then it's gone, and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? And that's what sucks about being on YouTube, and making paintball content and putting on YouTube, is like, there's no other platform. Well, honestly, man, there's Facebook. Yeah, there's Facebook. So there is Facebook, but
it is hard. It's very hard to make money on Facebook. Very, very hard.
But that's where I'm saying, like, there's not a lot of platforms, and that's what sucks. And I wish that there was a bigger platform where, you're making content, people are watching it, and you don't have all these, these rules and regulations. Because that's another thing about YouTube making content, like paintball related on content on the YouTube site, is that they have these monetized lists where can't share videos, cannot share music, use their music, and it's like, and they don't tell you this. And the only way you do it, if you get that stamp saying you cannot be monetized, you gotta have this and this and that just to reapply, and all that, and you're like,
it is a pain. But luckily for anyone who wants to get into the fine details of what it takes to be a YouTuber and what you can put on the platform, what you can't, it's all written in their policy. It's just a matter of who wants to read it. Honestly, ChatGPT exists, and if you punch in a prompt saying, tell me what are the do's and don'ts of being a YouTube content creator, or if you take their giant Word doc that YouTube has and you punch it in there, you're like, digest this and tell me the things that I should and should not be doing. It's all there. But at the end of the day, there's very few people that make money on YouTube. And I'm not just talking about paintball. I'm talking about anything, right?
Without doubt.
Gaming, whatever.
Most of people make money off of Twitch and Kick. That's all they make.
But that's just streaming. I'm talking just content creation. I'm just talking straight, like, making videos.
Right.
A lot of people used to think, oh, YouTube's not pushing my content because I'm holding a gun or whatever. But then if you look at Airsoft is kicking paintball's ass on YouTube. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
So that idea, that mentality of like, oh, they're not pushing my content because it's gun related and YouTube's anti-gun. That's such a lie. Because YouTube has dedicated firearms channels. They have, like I said, Airsoft. The problem is nobody's watching it anymore because there's not enough people to create an interest pool. We don't have like I said it earlier in the podcast, 8 to 10 large creators like we did at one point in time, or guys who are posting every single week. So there's no data to bounce back and forth and get recommended by. I watched an airsoft video the other day from, I think it was either Silo, Kicking Mustang, I don't know, Airsoft Cam Man, I don't know. I watched one of them, and the very next recommended video was a channel with less than 1,000 subscribers. So that proves that because they have a large body of people making content with the same titles, tags, thumbnails, the YouTube algorithm can grab that information and suggest it. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of people making paintball content. We used to have Social Paintball. We used to have DEF CON making videos. Myself, Wolf, Slim, Hedgehog, Barker, you name it. We like companies were making videos that were getting like 100,000 views. And now you look at us, and there's very few paintball content creators, whether you be a large company, a guy like myself, or even just Joe Blow who goes out on Sunday and posts one video. Like, it all adds up.
Yeah.
So I'm trying, like I said earlier, I'm trying to change that. It's why I'm getting away from more MagFed this season and going more towards traditional woods ball, because I want to get people interested in woods ball. Because when people are interested in something, suddenly they want to do the same thing. So then maybe they want to be the next Nightmare. They want to be the next Wolf. You know what I mean? So it's like, I want that for us. I want us to be a healthy ecosystem again, which we just don't have.
Yeah.
And hopefully down the road, like these podcasts, they help. Someone might stumble upon this and be like, oh my God, this was a fantastic show. Oh my God, paintball still exists. You know what I mean? Like, but the problem is a lot of people jump in with the expectation of them being handed the world, thinking that paintball as a whole is a very lucrative industry, and we're not. We're a subsidy of the defense industry, and a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of these large paintball manufacturers are taking their leftovers from what they make with the defense contracts, and they throw it into paintball. And that's kind of where woods ball kind of sits, especially MagFed. MagFed especially. They get the crumbs from the defense industry. MCS makes money, but they make more money on their defense contracts. The parent company of First Strike, same thing. Karma Tech Industries, they're not selling to us. They don't give a shit about us. Their supremacy scope was not designed for the woods ball player in mind. It was not. It was designed for law enforcement. So when they use their shaped projectiles filled with whatever riot control powder, they're going to put that on target.
Wow.
It's not for us. It's not. And a lot of people don't understand that. So they get into the paintball content creation going, oh man, these companies are rich. I was talking to a paintball company this week. We had a good long hour-long phone call about a potential sponsorship. And he's like, tell me how many people you think work for this company. And I was like, now that you're saying that, I'm going to bring my number way down. And I shot him a number. And he said 6. I was like, you have 6 people working in your company. He's like, yep. I was like, the way you advertise your products on Facebook, Instagram, and everything else made me think that you guys were a lot larger than that. He's like, nope. He's like, it all comes down to perception, and we made you perceive that we were huge. He goes, but we're not. But we're still interested in you. I was like, oh, all right, man. Like, so you might see another logo popping around. I have used their gear before. It's pretty prominent in a lot of my videos, and it's not Planet Eclipse. So. Right. I barked up that tree too many times. I barked it up. I
can't say anything.
I burnt my bridge with them.
I should die. I can't say anything.
There's nothing wrong with that. In the end, a paintball gun's a paintball gun. If a company is going to be like, here's some free product, just shout us out once in a while. It's very easy.
But I didn't get my dye from dye. I actually got it from, where is it? This logo right here. Pelican Paint.
Oh, yeah. That's dope.
Which, by the way, if you're in Louisiana, shop there. Pelican Paintball.
And, wonder where I get some cool gear from? HR Tactical Innovations. Save 10% when you use code Nightmare.pb at checkout. They're my newest sponsor. We're going to be working together for a little while. Like, they're one of my official ones. But I do got some other companies. I'm trying to get... yeah,
that's fine.
I got a paintball jersey in the works. It's actually going to have my own camo. It's going to have my Nightmare logo. I'm surprised I actually don't... that logo right there that you can't really see because I'm out of focus. Yeah.
It's okay.
Don't look at my.
We
Anyway,
seen,
that
we
logo.
seen, we
Yes.
oh, there you go.
Oh, it worked for a second.
We see the logo.
But yeah,
The logo is pretty badass. Like, I'll lie.
and if you don't want to use code Nightmare.pb, which you definitely do, you can always use code Creepshow, and it'll also save you 10%. But definitely use code Nightmare.pb. Sorry, Creepshow, I love you. But I'm working with a company right now. Well, actually, I'll just say it because like we're not going to have anything official. We're not doing a sponsorship. We're doing a partnership, which is completely different. It's kind of cool. But I'll be working hand in hand with Intensity Customs this year. They make beautiful paintball jerseys. They may be my own custom one. It's actually this was my event jersey from Wasaga's big game this year. I was one of the co-generals. Hashtag Red or Dead, and we won. But when they showed me this quality and I staged with them, I was like, all right, let's work together. So he's actually working on making me my own jersey so I can put my sponsors' logos on it. I'm getting one done up for MagFed. I'm getting one done up for Hopper gameplay. So that way, if I'm not... So when I'm wearing the vest, all my sponsors will be down the sleeves. And then when I'm not wearing the vest, I'll have more of a traditional jersey. But it's going to be like Crytek camo, which is what my pants are made out of. But it's going to have my Nightmare.pb logo weaved into the camo very subtly. I've seen some previews of it. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait for this. It's going to be super cool. So I'm super excited for this season. It's going to be a lot of fun. And hopefully it brings back my passion. And if it can bring back my passion, I'm not saying my passion's dead, but again, off season, I think last season I played 8 times total in the entire year.
You did.
So I'm really hoping that this season brings back my passion. I get out and play more walk-ons and just having a blast and just creating just fun, stupid videos and hopefully make some companies some money, which will hopefully in turn make your boy some money.
Yeah.
More money I make, more fields I get to go to. It's kind of cool.
I mean, that's another thing I was going to ask. Like, so we know you're part of the Canadian military, was it?
Yep.
So,
yeah.
You know, being a husband, as well as being a content creator, like, and also being a streamer, I'll add that to it. Being a streamer, how in the holy of all mother do you balance it? That's just like so much to do. And I should know.
It is. It really is. My secret sauce through all of this, and I've said this for like 10 years. I've always get asked this question. It's my wife. My wife is a stay-at-home mom. Part of the stress of I am. Yeah, I got 2 kids. As soon as I got into paintball and started making content in 2014, so I got into paintball 2012, started with a camera in 2013, and started to kind of like try in 2014. My son was born in 2014. So immediately it just became this pipe dream. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Like, this is going to be so hard. So yeah, balancing, work, deployments, life, family, kids, real life emergencies, streaming on top of that. She has been basically the foundation of the family, keeping everything down. She cooks the meals, cleans the house, does the kids stuff. Like, if she died tomorrow, I'd be screwed. Totally screwed. I don't know where my kids get their meds from. I don't know where, I am the breadwinner within the family, and she kind of, I just hand her the money and go, here, make us survive, please.
So you deliver the money, but she's the real rock star.
100%. So I keep saying that I bring home the bacon and she cooks it, because there's no way I have time to cook. But in all seriousness, she is what holds us all together. And then it's kind of a bit of my driving force to keep making content, to keep paying some of the bills, because so long as I can keep doing this, I can work a full-time job. I come home, spend some time with the family, edit some videos, do some live streaming, get some gaming in there once in a while. Then she doesn't have to get a job. I'm not saying I make enough to supplement 2 people working, but I do have a decent paying real job, and then I can supplement her not working with, YouTube and stuff like that. So like on average in the last 10 years, I brought in about $10,000 a year, Canadian, through YouTube. And then there's, sponsorship deals and stuff like that, and donations through streaming and stuff like that. So it really helps keep it alive. So I kind of have a pressure put on myself to perform immensely, either in front of the camera or to keep creating, because by doing this, she doesn't have to go back to work. It'd be great. Dual income and being able to somehow manage this. I doubt that if she goes back to work full time, I'm screwed. Like, I don't know what I'll do. I'll have to cut something out. Probably gaming. That's probably what's going to come down to. But yeah, it's kind of like a pressure I put on myself to consistently try to make money, to keep playing, to keep getting out to these fields, to keep getting those funny moments. That way, it kind of helps pay her half the bills, right? But she pays with her body in mind, whereas I don't know what I pay with. Just life, the stress.
But that's crazy, man. I mean, that's really, shout out to your wife for being the rock star.
Hondo P, man.
And shout out to every, wife and girlfriend or, significant others who are dating and or married to a paintball creator, a paintballer in general, because, the amount of sacrifices that we make to give everybody not just the content, but to enjoy the passion that we love and the sport that we love. That's just awesome. That's just really awesome. I love hearing that. I really do.
Yeah, it kind of warms my heart in that aspect. I think I listen to a lot of self-help books, right? Like, because if you look around, and I'm about to get metaphorical here for a quick second. If you look at the world, you have two types of people: buyers and sellers. Right? You're either buying someone's product or you're selling your own product.
Right.
And everything I do in my day, I ask myself, am I buying someone else's product? Am I on TikTok? Yep, I'm on TikTok right now. Shit, I'm buying someone else's product. Throw it on my phone. What can I do that's productive right now? Is there something I could be doing that's productive? I could be editing a video. Okay, I'm going to go do that instead. So there is a lot of time in the day. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. And that's because a lot of us, myself included, I fall into the trap all the time of poor time management. And it's like, oh, well, I'm sitting on the couch. I'm going to watch TV. Well, what could I be doing right now? Well, I could be coming up with a post for a sponsor. I could be working on my media deck. I could be coming up with proposals to sponsors. I could be editing my videos. I could be going live. I could be working on my stream setup, which I've been doing for like the last 2 weeks. It did not look like this, and it's still not done. Like, Jesus, I still got I got Pokeballs and lotion and everything else still piled up over here.
Lotion?
Probably. I got dry hands. Okay, like I'm gonna defend this. Oh, my light's too bright. I have dry ass hands. I got little girly hands. I got so many calluses on my hands from, and also I work out after work. I go to the gym because I'm trying to get paintball fit this season because I let myself go after last season. The beers got real. So yeah, that's a way I balance a lot of what I do is I have to ask myself, is what I'm doing right now productive?
Right.
And I think that's how I'm able to go to work from, I get up at 5:30 every morning. I'm out the door by 7. I'm home by 3:30 if I don't go to the gym on those days. Luckily, I get to go to physical training during certain periods of work. So that kind of helps get my physical fitness in. And then I'll come home, do homework with the kids, chit chat, this and that. And then usually after supper, I come down here from like 5, maybe like 5, 6 to 7. 7 o'clock, kids are in bed. 7:30, I'm either live streaming, editing, or just playing video games with my buddies from work. So it's a lot of time management. We all have a lot of time. It's just a matter of finding what is wasting your time in a day and getting rid of those. And I think that's what's kind of led to a little bit of my success. But it also brings stress. It's a whole different level of stress because now I can't relax. And my wife hates it. She's like, why don't you go do something relaxing? She's like, go play a video game. Go just do something. I'm like, I can't. I got to be productive. I got to try to get the business going. I got to be working.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. You're a hustler. You got to keep
I'm a hustler. Yeah, that's exactly it.
You're a grinder. You got to keep on grinding because what you're doing, you're grinding for greatness.
It's I equate becoming a YouTube content creator as the male equivalent of fuck it, I'll be a stripper. Right? So daddy has got to go get his money. I got to go work the corner, girl. Like, I can't do nothing else in my life. What am I going to do? Fuck it, I'm going to be a stripper.
Oh my god. I didn't think of that way, but okay. I didn't think of that way, but okay, I'm probably gonna use that from now on.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I got to put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah. Oh my
Paintball, male equivalent of I'll be a stripper.
god. Or
Or no, that's gonna go on the back, because then people are like, "What the fuck?"
Or
Yeah,
Barry, no, or Barry is this is daddy fans. Oh.
Daddy fans. Paint my feet, Daddy. Paint me like one of your French girls.
Oh my god.
And that's where my life usually is. I'm always just a mess up here. So it's
Oh, I'm the same way.
it's kind of what makes me laugh, right? If I didn't laugh about how much stress I put on my own body and mind with the amount of content creation I got to do, I'd probably be in an early grave. I'm probably going to be in an early grave anyway. Probably because I'm going to fly to Super Game, and I've seen what's been happening to the planes in the States. So if I do not make it to or back from Super Game, just know I had a good time.
Hey, go down.
I got to make sure my life insurance is up before I hop on a plane, though.
That's true. But so tell me this: how does it feel now, like to be like? I know there's a couple of videos that you and Wolf have, went against each other, and I think I saw one that says this. You were like, "Hey, are you Wolf?" So what's
I know the video.
So what? Like, how does it feel to go against Wolf? Because honestly, to me, every time I watch this, I'm like this. Oh, so it's Planet Eclipse versus Die.
So I've never. Oh, sorry. I don't want to say I've never been Planet Eclipse. The only dedicated gun sponsor I've ever had was MCS. I shoot Planet Eclipse because I like the fact that I'm lazy. I'm the laziest paintballer you're ever going to meet. I don't have time to maintain my guns. And the fact that I just have to pull the bolt out, lube it up, throw the bolt back in is it. I'm like, okay, that's why I use that gun. So that's why, I'd love to be sponsored by them. I'd love to get paid to use their stuff. But again, they're one of those companies that will never pay someone to run their gear because they're so well loved that they don't have to pay anybody to run their stuff.
Right.
I'm a businessman. I'm for sale. Yo, Die, you want me to shoot your stuff? Holla at your girl. I got a price tag on this booty. But
if you're watching,
but it's kind of cool. I love going up against Wolf. He is one of my favorite people in the world. I truly adore the man. I remember my very first time meeting him, D-Day 2017. I was invited on the coattails of Brad from the Maritime Paintball podcast. He was invited in as the MC, and he's like, "Can I bring some friends?" And they're like, "Yes." So I got in his van as a small little YouTuber, and we drove halfway across the country. We get to the event. We go out for dinner the day before or the day of the event. I can't remember. But here I am sitting dead across the table from Wolf. I've got Wolf, Slim, and Greg frickin' Hastings sitting next to me. I'm like, I don't belong here. I'm like, I'm this little dude with like 10,000 subscribers, and I'm at a dinner table after a paintball game with some of the biggest names that I've looked up to for years. I was like, I don't belong here. I'm sure my buddy Brad can find the photo somewhere. I'm sitting there with a deer in the headlights, staring at Wolf, biggest grin on my fucking face, like just so nervous. And it's ever since then, I've gained the man's respect. I've stayed in the game a lot longer than most people within the paintball entertainment industry do. And now we look forward to just getting on the field to either on the same team. We have a blast. We make a great fire team. I cover, he moves, he covers, I move. It's very military style. It's kind of very neat. I'm in the Air Force. I don't do Army stuff, which is, but I will on the paintball field. So it's very cool dynamic, but it's also fun when we're on the opposite side of the team because then we just talk mad shit about each other. He was the general of, the co-general at Wasaga, and I was the other one. And it was just non-top, smack, shit talking. But literally, we were staying at the same hotel together. We were going out for dinner before the event, after the event. He drove me around, Wasaga, just looking at the place. So it's like, he's a very cool, very down-to-earth dude. And I feel bad that he gets the flack that he does for X, Y, or Z. But I promise you, his boots have way more field time than anybody who talks shit about him do. No, I know he got a bad rep a long time ago. I can tell you, since I've met the guy, that rep is gone. Like, I try to keep up with him. He is a very fit, very strong, very passionate dude. So when we get on the field together, I love creating clips. And so when I'm sneaking through the woods and Wolf's in front of me and I don't see him because the dude blends in with his goddamn die cam, and he goes, "Surrender, player." I'm like, "Oh no." "Hey, what team you on?" "I'm not on your team, brother." "Damn it. What color are you?" "Just surrender, Nightmare." "Damn it." "Oh yeah." "No, Wolf, please don't shoot me. Don't shoot me, bro. Please don't." And then of course, he's on 3-round burst. So I take 3 across the chest. And then I give him the most dramatic death cam sequence you could possibly ask for. And I fall back. And it's just having fun, because everyone thinks that all because these guys dress up like army dudes and we go into a paintball field that, we're going to be, "All right, guys, moving up, covering. So, okay.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna cover this way, and you guys go over that way. And
No, we don't do that. Like, I like to have fun on the paintball field. To me, playing paintball is an expression of myself and just going out and have fun. So when I see Wolf, I know he's got a camera running. I know I got a camera running. Let's create a funny freaking moment, and that's what I try to do. So, I got a video where just after that happened. He eliminates me. I walk off. I respawn. I come back. Luckily, I get into the same kind of spot that his team was going to be in, and I completely flank his team, the next team around. So he's like, "Hey, guys, watch out for friendly fire. Watch out for friendly fire." And I'm literally watching these guys. Like, I could reach out and touch them. I was like, all right, I got my marker standing. I'm ready to go. And all of a sudden, they start shooting, and I just bang, 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 and just light up each one of them one by one. And they're just yelling, "Friendly! Friendly! We're on your team! Friendly!" Nah, not friendly, dog. It was just a lot of fun. So, very long-winded answer, but I love hanging out with Wolf. I think he's one of the coolest dudes on and off the paintball field. If you ever get a chance to hear stories from him, he has legitimately the best stories that you could ever ask for. Him and Greg Hastings. Unfortunately, I think Greg lost his passion for paintball, but I love talking to the guys who've been in for so long that they have the experience of coaching me. I love getting advice from people. I met Intensity Customs, the owner, Sean John, amazing dude. He has NXL experience. He's coached teams. He's been on teams. And just getting advice from the guy. He saw me loading, what was it? My paintballs. I put them in a cooler. So I ripped the bag open and I was putting them in a cooler, closing the cooler. I was using my box rotor and I was taking my bare hand, and loading my box rotor. He goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Load my hopper." He goes, Why did you pour it in there?" I was like, "Well, I want to keep them fresh. Like it's easier to just kind of scoop them in and go rather than dealing with the bag." He's like, "Don't do that." I was like, "Why?" He goes, "The oils from your hand, whether you know it or not, affect your paint. So even just by loading a handful of paint into your hopper, you've changed the properties of that paint, and it is not going to fly the same." I was like, "Really?" So now I don't touch my paintballs. I refuse to touch my paintballs with my hands. So if I'm using the cooler, it's for MagFed. I take my PE mags, I take the front cover off, and then I scoop the paint up out of my cooler, dust it off with my gloved hand, and then put the lid on. Like, advice like that, things that these
crazy.
ex-pro players can teach you as a woods ball player. It's just little things like that, learning about the industry. So a lot of people, like I said, it's not about me when you become a content creator. You got to be able to stop and listen, because if you don't, you lose all credibility.
Oh, without
in my opinion, anyway.
No, I agree 100% without a doubt. So so I know you probably have some questions for me. So
I didn't come prepared, dog. I had an hour before I thought I had an extra hour.
That's okay.
So what's gotten you to want to make paintball content? I've talked a lot about what I think is the reason why a lot of people try to do this. What is your reason?
So my reason was the fact that, well, let's go back to the actual beginning. So the Paintball Lounge was because of the fact that COVID. After COVID hit and everything, we couldn't watch a lot of paintball. We could not play a lot of paintball. The only content that we had was Go Sports. And that was the only thing we got. So I was sitting down. It was around 2022. Yeah, 2022. I was just sitting down, and um, my girlfriend, Danielle, she was on here. She said hi. So hey, babe, and you might want to listen to this. So I'm sitting down, and I am like depressed. I'm like depressed so bad because I want to play. I want to play, and she came up with the idea that, why don't you make a podcast? You've been playing the sport for so many years. Why don't you make a podcast? And I'm like, you know what? That is a really good idea. So, but then we were going through so many names. So many names. Oh my. If I had the list again of how many names I went through just to make this thing work, there's gonna be a long ass list. It was like the list like Mr. McMahon gave to Steve Austin when he started. It was that kind of list. It was bad. Oh my god. So she came up with like, why don't you make it like the style of like a lounge, like kind of like a lounge? And I'm like,
yeah,
the Paintball Lounge, TPL. Let's go.
Bam.
And was working magically. And at first, it was just for like interviews. It was just mainly for local interviews in Louisiana, because we got some stars here in Louisiana that no one knows about. And that's what it's locally for.
Mm-hmm.
But then, as the years goes by, I was like, you know what? Why don't I make content? Why don't I just make some content videos of growing the Louisiana sport, but also giving people fresh new content? Because like you said, we don't have a lot of content out there, and the ones we do have is you, Wolf, Baker, Smurfette with Baker, Bat, or was it Bat Dad, or Bat, whatever his name, Yellow Guy, and all them.
Yeah.
Bat, I can't remember his name. I think it's
I have no idea.
He's the one that wear the bat ears. That's all Bakersfield.
That dude.
That dude. Thank you.
I don't.
So Bat Dude and all of that, but we don't have any content creators for the United States that much as like for local fields.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I started to like, you know what, I'm gonna start making local fields videos, and I went through a lot of cameras. Got with the GoPro, got with the Run Cam, and then I went to this, and that's why I started making contacted creating videos. It was never to be, me interviewing people outside Louisiana. It was never the idea. But now I'm going to places. I'm going to these different fields to show, hey, we may be a small state, not a lot of fields, but we have these amazing games. We have a lot of people come here. You want to try the sport, and you're in Louisiana or in the South, that's close to you, come try us out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
like, why wouldn't you want to do that, right? Like it's such a smart idea. Like it really is the best way to promote. And I hate the term grow the sport, but that's how it's done. Is you start somewhere, right? And I think you have a very marketable paintball channel. All right, like the Paintball Lounge. I'm telling you right now, like I'm drooling over the fact that you have a legitimately cool channel name. Do you know how much I hate the term Nightmare.pb? A lot. You want to know what's not marketable? Nightmare.pb. Want to know why? Because it doesn't go with anything. That's like literally my only regret in my entire my entire run. But you have the foundation, and I mean, obviously I'm looking at your channel now, and you create shorts. You got Q&As. You might not have like a lot of views on some of these, but you know what? We all start somewhere. And as long as you continuously have the passion for it, like why not? Like looking at your videos here, your most popular video, 198 views, man. That's nothing to poo-poo. And actually that's a live it looks like a live streamed event, which is kind of cool. But yeah, just trying and knowing what to do with that content is a very big thing. Like knowing how to format your channel properly, learning how to write proper what's the word I'm looking for here? Descriptions. But one of the things I'm seeing right now is you get some copyrighted music in here. Ditch that. Don't go with copywritten music. It's terrible. Even though YouTube's like, oh, we're not going to monetize your content, they're not going to push it either. They're not. They're when there's copyright, they won't push it as hard as without. There's lots of copyright free music out there that you can use.
That's what I've been using. I've been actually sometimes of the videos I use what's his name is Bryce Savage, his band on Netflix or whatever it's called. I can't remember.
Oh, Netflix. Yeah. I've seen him a few times. Yeah.
Yeah, so I use his music because not only if some people like they what they're watching, like you said, their attention spans is very low because they don't like when you're watching for so long, you're like, this is getting boring. So sometimes I slap in a little bit of music, not to where it's overpowering the shot quality or the sounds or anything, but enough to where it's like, okay, he has some music, keep me
kind of keeps your attention going, right?
Yes, exactly. And that's why I keep using the same song over and over because it fits the bill.
Oh, 100%. And just looking at some of your videos here, like I don't want to go too hard into to critiquing your channel, but when you're creating content, try not to have an intro right away. Get right into the content. As soon as someone clicks on something, they want to see what's in the thumbnail immediately. They want I came for that, and then give them that. And then if you got sponsors and you're like, oh, have them flash up, like really quick in the video, like get some action going. Okay, then maybe during a transition, logo action again or something like that. Also tags. Make sure you're putting tags in your videos. You got none. You got 0 tags in your videos.
I know.
0. Paintball. What you got speedball footage here. Speedball competition. Paintball tournament. Paintball match. Paintball gameplay. There's so many tags you could throw in there. So just do a little bit of research. It'll definitely help you out, and hopefully it'll get you on the right track to some discoverability. YouTube is just a big search engine, right?
It is. I'm not gonna lie.
It's all it is. So that's why almost all my videos have the word paintball in them. It's repetitive as shit. It's annoying to come up with titles. And if I can't think of anything, all right, here's what happens in my video: Paintball Wars.
Yeah, and that's
what I mean.
And that's what I do. Like as you see, like I don't have any tags, but that's gonna change because that started to change actually. With when I did the interview with Joe Barrett from San Diego Dynasty, I've and started doing more shorts and everything because
shorts are huge. Shorts are so huge.
There's actually one of me shooting the Die MXR, and I got like 500 something views from that. And that was just me putting tag Die Paintball. I got 500.
Oh yeah,
bam. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing tags and everything. I still got a long ways to go, but I just trying to get like Louisiana Paintball more people to play so I can meet.
Oh yeah, because it's more fun. It's more fun when people when you get more people showing up to your games. It's a lot of fun. Like you want more targets. You don't want to see the same people. Be like, oh, it's the same game on the same game mode on the same field all the time. You're like, you want some variety. Variety is the spice of life. So hopefully you get that. Like if that's what you're truly trying to do and you want more people to go to your fields, definitely work with the fields. That's my biggest thing is there are a lot of small fields out there that are dying for people to show up and promote their fields. There's one that's like 15 minutes from my house right now. I'd love to promote him, but his field's too small to promote because I'd be like, hey, come play here with me. I play here every weekend. But the field is literally the dude's backyard. And he's got a big backyard. It's huge, but he has no parking. So he might be able to fit like maybe 12 cars, maybe up to 16 on his front lawn. And then after that, we're all parking on the street and it's residential parking. So I'm like, I'd love to promote you, but it's like, I don't want to screw you over by having so many people show up that you can't house them. I'm not saying I have that kind of influence, but I'm just saying it'd be very hard. I'd be upset if I did that, made that promise, and suddenly he's like, oh, this is too much for me or something like that.
No, I agree 100%. Like, because that's why I keep bias. Well, all these local fields right here on my banner and everything, I keep it biased. Like, because I actually I downloaded the spin the wheel app and everything because I don't know which field is gonna have like this many people are gonna have this many people or this field's gonna have this many people. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna spin the wheel and it'll be like guerrilla warfare. Okay, message the field owner. How many people you're gonna have? And I'll go over there and shoot some footage and everything and play. But it's just that, like I said, that's my goal. That's my goal. Like, I'm not here trying to be famous or anything like that. It's just if I actually, do retire from playing, I have something to fall back on.
Yeah.
And I love doing this. I really do. I love talking to people. I like talking to you because of the fact that I get the chance to learn, but also, like you said before, storytelling. The story.
Yeah.
Hearing y'all's history, like how you started and where you're at now and everything. And believe it or not, someone sent me a music, which I will make as a, it's unlisted, but I will make as a public thing. But someone sent me an AI song, and I'm not a big fan of AI music. I am not a big fan of it, but it actually hits the tone of what this channel is about.
Oh, that's dope.
And I will post it in probably soon.
Yo, why not, man? Yeah, what do you get to lose, right? What do you get to lose at this point?
Well, I'm still trying to figure out about the, the content, the copyright and everything. I don't know how they are when it comes to AI. That's what.
Yeah,
that's what
I think there's a tag that you gotta click. It's like this content creates AI generated content or something like that. So they might be okay with it. Like I have no idea. I think it's $14 a month US for a subscription to Epidemic Sound, and I've been with them for must be close to almost 10 years now. And that's where I get all of my music, all of my soundtracks, all the special effects, the sounds. I add a lot of sound effects to the video. So if I'm running, I've got AI software that blocks out the wind. So when your GoPro is, everyone knows that wind sound on a GoPro. That
yeah.
Well, it literally cuts that out and keeps the actual footage. But sometimes it sounds so fake that I'll go get footsteps. So I'll go into Epidemic Sound and be like, footsteps. And it's like, oh, footsteps running through grass, through leaves, on pavement, on whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I can take that, add it to my video. So it's a lot of adding sound elements to keep people interested, because sound is a huge part of video content creation. You can have the best looking video in the world, but if it sounds like crap, ain't nobody going to watch it. But the opposite, if you have the best sounding video in the world, but the video is grainy or it's just not perfect, people might still watch it because they can hear it.
Right.
And they might not care about the visual effects. You know what I mean? It's a very strange psychological thing that exists. But yeah, it was just one of those things I've learned. I've learned a lot about YouTube from YouTube gurus on YouTube themselves, like best ways to grow your channel, or how to grow your channel in 2025, or yada yada. How to edit a video for audience retention. There's a lot of resources out there that not a lot of people will take advantage of, that I highly implore people should do if they want to try and grow their channel in any capacity.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And there's a company that actually pays a subscription. They actually does. I don't know if you saw it, but when I was doing the Joe Barry, he was also like, I did the whole. They put that caption and they put that little emoji on top of it. It looked like a bubbly and everything.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you say number one or an accomplishment, it shows like a trophy emoji icon, with it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this a try. I'm gonna see how it is, and I like it. I mean, yeah, I have to pay for it, but it's still pretty cool, and I'm start doing that more often, because that's what draws people in. They like, oh, look at the little icon and actually the funny stories and everything.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna start doing that. Like, I'm gonna start doing a lot of things for this year, for this season. It's just all takes time, and me going out on the field and playing.
That's the big thing, right? Like, it's not just time; it's money too, right? Like, it's not cheap to get onto the paintball fields these days, and and then you got to spend the time afterwards making the videos or coming up with ideas, or what are some of the things you could do while you're at the field that might make for a watchable video or a clickbaitable title or thumbnail. It's a lot of that. I can't tell you how many times I've come back from the field going, man, I wish I would have taken a picture of X, Y, or Z for the thumbnail, because it would have added to it. But It's a lot of planning when you're a YouTuber, whether it's in any niche. You have to plan your videos. You can't just go out, play, and then hope to make content. Sometimes you have to think about it. It's like, oh, today's video is going to be me using the box mag for the first time, and that's going to be I got to make content around that. So it's or knowing what to say, like, oh, I want to say this funny thing, while I'm out there. So there's a lot of staging that has to happen in the YouTube world that not a lot of people are aware of. Not everything that you see on Facebook and YouTube is authentic 100% of the time. A lot of mine is. I'll give you that. Like, I forget to do the things I'm going to plan to do 90% of the time, but every so often there's a few things where I'm like, I'm going to plan that out.
I'm actually.
And then I never do it.
Well, I'm actually thinking about doing this, taking that my footage. If next time I go on the field, I gotta get my gun fixed, by the way. So that's gonna. But when I get my gun fixed and everything, I'm actually gonna think about taking, the videos I will post through this and everything. But I might think about making like little shorts, like from the actual gameplay. And I think there is one that I've been wanting to say, but it's hard to say because I gotta get an actual shot of someone, and that is, you've been hit by the Death Star, because that's what my die gun is. It's the Death Star MXR. So it was something like that corny thing, and I just haven't got to do it because I haven't it hasn't there yet, but it will be there one day.
I'm just gonna throw this out there, Creep Show. That is a freaking awesome idea, and I'm totally gonna steal that. That is hilarious, dude. Legitimately having an interview on the field. That is hilarious. Putting a table inside of a bunker and then interviewing people who run in and out of there. That is hilarious. Like, have a camera set up or have somebody filming and be like, hey man, what's up? Like, what do you think? Where are you gonna go next on the field? You stopped at this bunker, but what made you sit down? Let's have a conversation. Like, how are you doing? That's hilarious.
You know what? I might do that. I might talk to the owner of Paintball Command, because we do have I think there are some bunkers out there that he has that I'm like, you know what? Let's try that. Let's see if someone will go inside here and let's just have a chit chat. Oh, maybe I should do it live and do it live on YouTube. Be like, oh, okay. Hey, what's up?
Oh man, that'd be hilarious. That could make for a funny ass video. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't have the cognitive ability to remember to do something or plan something out like that extravagant, but that is a hilarious idea. Like, honestly, it really is.
I might, you know what, Creep Show, I might do that. I might actually try to pull that off. I'm gonna see if I can try to pull that off.
Now this is the point where you point at the camera and go, patent pending, patent pending, patent pending, patent pending. Pull the old Homer Simpson, right?
Forbidden donut.
Forbidden donut.
Oh, imagine that. Imagine me eating a donut at a paintball field and someone splattered a bit like this. Forbidden donut.
It'd just be better if you had a donut in your hand, someone shot it out like, oh, well, shit, am I out or am I in? Like, what is that? I don't think that counts, does it?
But I think we hit all the time we got here, man, because I know that, you got stuff to do. Like, I've
always got something to do. Yeah, I'm actually missed putting my kids to bed. I thought the show was at 7, so I was like, oh, you know what, kids? Tonight I'm gonna give you hugs and kisses before bed instead of like at bedtime. Like, I usually spend like 15 minutes tucking them in.
I was trying to on your time. That's why I said like Easter Standard Time, and I'm like, what's Easter Standard Time? 5 o'clock. Oh, okay. So because right now it's 7 o'clock my time. And
so you are Central?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So we're only an hour behind you.
Yeah, so learning about that.
Behind, ahead. Yeah, ahead. Oh, it's all good. It's always it always happens. It's honestly no big deal. I'm just glad I finished my supper, did the dishes, came downstairs, and I was like, okay, I had an hour to clean up the office. Literally, I was coming to clean up all this and kind of make sure my props were on the right spot. And then it was like, hey, I'm live now. I'm like, man, does this guy put on like a 2-hour show? And then I'm coming in on the second hour. I was like, I thought we were going on at 7. You're like, it is 7. I'm like, oh crap, there was a misunderstanding. But honestly,
it is a 2-hour show.
No sweat. It was literally no sweat to just literally throw on a hoodie and just be like, all right, what's up, guys? Turn Nightmare on for 5 seconds.
Yeah, and we already hit the 2-hour mark. To be honest with you, we actually did.
Yeah, it was crazy. This went by very quickly, and you know, I'm really thankful that you brought me here. It was a lot of fun. It's this is my first live interview of 2025. Yes,
Yes!
2025. So yeah, I plan on doing a few more of these. I've been asked to be on a couple of other shows, so I'm sure there'll be more of these in the near future for sure.
Well, I want to thank you, Nightmare, for coming on the show. Really appreciate it, and it was a blast. I mean, really, thank you, man.
Oh, no problem, man. Pleasure's all mine, and I love coming on here and doing this kind of stuff. And let me just hit your audience with an outro that I haven't done in a very long time. Some people in the chat may know what's coming up, but I haven't done this in a while, so if it's rusty, I apologize. Ladies and gentlemen, if you went on to enjoy this show in any way, shape, and or form, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to his channel if you're new, and we will catch you all on the next one. But until then, Nightmare out.
Love it.
Bam! That's how we do it.
You know what? Hang on. Let's see if this will actually record. Give me a second.
Clip that chat.
Little applauding for that. That was pretty awesome.
That's awesome, man.
But I'll see you next time, my friend. I hope you put more shows, and maybe I'll see you in your next live show on streaming.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Take care.
Cheers, buddy.
All right, everybody. That was Nightmare.pb. You know, really awesome having him on here and everything. Remember, y'all, this Thursday coming at 7 o'clock Central Time. This time will be Central. We got Chris, and I'm not talking. I mean, not Chris. Sorry, Charles Dean from Max. Charles Dean from Max Paintball is going to be on the show this Thursday at 7 p.m. And remember, this has been double show weekend, or I'll call it double show week. So hope y'all please subscribe, like the video, share. Let's keep on going. And hope y'all have a good night. And I'll